Good morning and warm welcome to all my dear students and all the viewers who would be watching this video via the Rockwell Management YouTube channel. So today's subject that we would be discussing is for Travel and Tourism Management semester 5. So this would be unit 1 that we would be starting off with. So the subject name is Strategic Tourism Management and Entrepreneurial Development. So in this subject we are going to discuss and we are going to learn about the strategic tourism management and entrepreneurial development in detail. So before we begin this subject, we need to first understand or decipher what strategy is. So the name itself, the term itself, strategy, was used earlier or more often in the military or the army. Yeah. So the word strategy is derived from Greek word strategos, stratus meaning army and ago meaning leading. So the word strategy was primarily used in military terms, and as you can see in the board, it says the word strategy is derived from the Greek word. So in simplifying, in army terms, strategy could be strategy is like an overall overall aim or of how to obtain an overall aim. That could be a strategy. All right, for in cases of army. So let us all see what is it all about. So strategy is an action that managers tend to attain one or more of the organization goals. Strategy can also be defined as a general direction set for the company and its various components to achieve a desired state in future. Strategy results from detailed strategic planning and process. All right. So the simplest of our example would be, let's say, for example, to explain a strategy. Let's say, for example, we would want to climb Mount Everest, which is next to impossible for us. But then again, giving you an example, climbing Mount Everest. Okay. So climbing Mount Everest, reaching its peak, is our ultimate objective. That is the objective of our that is our objective, right? So the strategy would be that we would only be walking during in early morning, starting 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Be it any reason. Okay, so our strategy is to climb up in the morning 4 to 7. All right. So that would be our strategy. So to climb the mountain early 4 to 7, we would require various equipments, oxygen masks, the gears that you use, mountaineering boots, and everything. The path we choose. These all of the things come under planning. Yeah, we plan the type of tools that we want. We plan the pathway through which we can reach a particular point, but our strategy is to climb the mountain between 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Yeah, our objective is to reach the peak. So this is a very simple distinction. This is a very simple distinction in to give you an example of strategy, objective, and plan. Pardon me. So let us all understand the word strategy even further, okay? Because we tend to use strategy and plan interchangeably. Yeah. So we need to keep in mind strategy is a high level decision. Okay. So as we can see, it's a general direction. Yeah. So strategy is a broader term in terms of its thought and application, whereas plans could be in a much smaller terms and application. So let's begin to understand strategy more. by understanding the difference between the strategy and a plan. So that would help us understand what strategy is once we come to know the difference between a plan and a strategy, because more often than not we tend to use these two terms interchangeably. The first point we have here is a strategy identifies what you need to meet, what you need to do to meet or more business objectives. Okay, so it identifies what we need to do to meet business objectives. Second point we have is a strategy needs to be detailed. It may even include some sort of time frame for executing it, but it's still only high level in terms of how it will be achieved. All right, so you can see high level is highlighted on the board. So it means strategy, it would not be wrong to say strategic decisions are made by people in the top level management. So strategy needs to be detailed. It could include time frames, yeah, but it's still only high level in terms of how it will be achieved. So we need to keep in mind the strategy of a company to achieve its organizational objective is a high level. Is in a high level, meaning the strategy is framed, formulated by the top level management that is there in the organization. So let's see what plan. A plan in detail, a plan explains in detail how the strategy will be executed. All right, so we have a strategy, like I said, I gave you an example of climbing a Mount Everest. Climbing a Mount Everest is our objective, yeah, and our strategy is that we have a time frame that we would only be climbing up the mountain in the early mornings from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. All right, what a plan is, a plan explains in detail how the strategy will be executed. Yeah, so the plan will tell us how the strategy will be executed. So how will we be climbing between 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. What are the gears that we are going to use? What are the tools that we would require? Which side of the mountain we would be climbing? All right, all the time frames included. So the plan will explain you how we achieve a strategy. The strategy will tell us how the strategy will give us a high timeline of how we would reach our objective, and the plan will tell us how in detail how we will execute the strategy that is provided or that is given by the top level management. It would not be wrong to say the middle level management and the lower level management, this is the level of management where people are putting the plans, people are putting the strategy into converting people are making the middle level managers, the lower level managers are coming up with plans, with coming up with ideas as to how we can execute the strategy provided by the top level management. The next one we have is what is to be done, what's to be done. Yeah, so what's to be done in order to execute the strategy. What are the activities that are required to take? What are the tasks that needs to be executed in order to follow the strategy? Because strategy will, when we follow the strategy, when we execute the plans to meet the strategy, it is then we are ultimately going towards meeting our organizational objective. The next one we have is who does what. Yeah, so the roles and responsibility, once we have plans laid out to execute the strategy, now we need to have people with roles and responsibility assigned to meet or to execute the plans. When it has to be done, so that it comes a schedule of activities and tasks and who's assigned to them. These are all coming under plans. Yeah, these are not coming under strategy. These are all coming under plans. So when it has to be done, the activities needs to be timelined, and the tasks has to be assigned, and so that people will have the authority and responsibility to complete the job. Yeah. So when it has to be done, it has to be done. Schedule of activities. Next one we have, and critically, how you'll ensure it gets done on time and within a budget. Yeah, this line is very important. Yeah. So not only do we need to complete the work, but we also need to ensure that the work that is assigned needs to be completed in a given time frame and within the budget. Yeah, as we all know, budget plays a very important role as far as our plans are concerned. Yeah, so the budgeting and everything is also done in a top level management scale. So this is what I'm trying to explain is a plan in detail will show us how strategy is to be executed. Yeah, so what are the activities that needs to be done in order to execute the strategy? Yeah, what would be the roles and responsibility of various employees that are there in the organization? Yeah, so what are the timelines defined as to when the work has to be done and whom the work is assigned, and critically at the end we have to ensure that the work is done on time and within the budget. So with this detailed explanation of planning, I believe we are all clear about the difference between strategy and a plan. So once we have understood the difference between a strategy and a plan, I'm sure that you have come to know that strategy is a top level thought. Strategy is established by people working in the top level management, and plan is something which a set of activities, set of roles and responsibilities assigned, which will help the organization to execute the strategy that is laid out by the top level management. Now we start off with characteristics of strategic decisions. This is one of your sub-points in your syllabus, Unit 1. So to understand strategy better, to understand the nature of strategic decisions, there are a few points that I've come up with, and these few points will help us understand more clearly the characteristics. So to understand me, for example, you need to know what are my traits. You need to know what are my habits. Once you know my characteristics, you would be able to know me or understand me better. In the same way and sense, once we know the characteristics of strategic decisions, I believe that we would be able to understand more clearly strategy and the features of strategic decisions. So the first one we have is strategic decisions are the topmost level. Yeah. So like I already said, that strategic decisions are taken by the top level management. Yeah. So it is derived, or it is an outcome of the top level management thinking hat. They are topmost level. Strategic decisions are uncertain as they deal with future and involve a lot of risk. All right. So as we all know, any business venture, any business venture that would be undertaken would bear risk and return likewise. So various strategies, they involve risk, because it is uncertain. The future is uncertain and it involves a lot of risks. So the characteristics, the first point in the characteristic of strategic decision is it is borne out by the top level management. The strategic decisions are uncertain because of the future that lies ahead, and it involves a lot of risk. Strategic decisions have major resource propositions for organizations. These decisions may be concerned with possessing new resources, organizing others, or reallocating others. So these decisions may be concerned with processing new resources, A, B, organizing others, or C, reallocating the others. Fairly simple to understand. Strategic decisions deal with harmonizing organizational resource capabilities with threats and opportunities. Yeah, this is something which you all must be very familiar about. In your previous semesters or classes, you might have come across SWOT analysis, where S stands for your strength, W stands for your weakness, O stands for your opportunities, T stands for your threats. So strategic decisions deal with harmonizing, with harmonizing organizational resource, its capabilities with the threats and opportunities. So strategic decision is not a decision, it's a random decision that comes to the mind of any top level manager or the board of directors, and then the decision is made. That is absolutely not the case. So a strategic decision is a detailed study. It's a calculated decision wherein the board of directors or the managers in the top level, they sit down, they understand what are the strengths of the company, what are the weaknesses of the company, what are the opportunities lie ahead in the market, and what are the threats, possible threats there could be in the market that would stop us from achieving our objective. So these are the detailed study that the top level management makes before even it makes a strategic decision. Strategic decisions are complex in nature. That's very true. It is very complex in nature because it involves both your macro and micro environment. Strategic decisions are taken in accordance with organizational mission and vision. This is very important, as I have been emphasizing on the fact that strategic decisions are taken by top level management. It serves as a time frame. This is a decision which serves as a skeletal framework to achieve our organizational objectives. So the strategic decisions are always taken in accordance with the mission and vision of the company. As to why we exist, why do we exist in the business, and where we want to be in the future. These are the two: mission and vision of the company. Why we exist in the market, and what do we want to become in the future. So the strategic decision is taken in accordance with the organizational mission and vision. These are the characteristics or the features of strategic decisions. And I believe by now we have come into a point of understanding that strategic decisions are top level decisions taken by the top level management. Plans are a way of achieving the strategic decisions that have already been taken, which would include assigning roles and responsibility, assigning ways of meeting the work time frame, keeping or working out the plans within the budget that is set. I believe now we have understood what strategy is, how it differs from plans, and what are the characteristics of strategic decisions. I hope you have a good day. Thank you very much.